This video, I'll be sharing with you a requested tutorial on how to draft a bustier with a scallop neckline or a high neckline. So if this is something you like, kindly hit on the subscribe button and also give this video a thumbs up. So to start, for this pattern, I'll be drafting only the upper part of this dress. Now, what you need is your shoulder to bust measurement, your shoulder to under bust measurement, shoulder to waistline for the upper part of this pattern. Now, I'm going to go ahead to mark my shoulder divided by 2 plus half because this dress has a sleeve and I'll come down by 1 inch. From this point, I'll go ahead to mark a basic neckline of 3 inches, which will be serving as a guide. So from that 3 inches, I'll connect to that 1 inch for my shoulder slope. Now, after marking that, I'm going to find my chest line, which is my bust circumference divided by 6 plus 1.5 inches, and I'll rule a straight line. Now, I'll place my tape and I'll mark my shoulder divided by 2 plus half. After marking that, I'm going to place back my ruler and connect a straight line to the upper part. I'm going to go ahead to divide what I have here into 2 equal parts and I'll come in by ½ inch. Going down to the chest line, I'm going to mark my bust circumference divided by 4. Place my ruler, connect from my bust circumference divided by 4 to the ½ inch I have at the armhole and to the upper part of my pattern. After I'm done marking this, I'll go ahead to mark my nipple to nipple divided by 2. And I'm going to mark this from the bust, under bust and down to the waistline. Now, after I'm done marking, I'm going to go ahead to place my ruler and I'm going to draw a straight line connecting those marks that I have. Now, I'm going to go ahead to mark a dart intake of 1 inch on both sides. If you're plus size, please go ahead to use 1.5 inches on both sides of your pattern. Go ahead to place your ruler and go ahead to connect at both sides. And I'll go ahead to connect. Now, from the bust, make sure you come down by ½ inch or 1 inch and go ahead to connect this all the way up and also connect at the other side of your pattern. After I'm done connecting, from the neckline, this 3 inches neckline to the remaining part of my shoulder, I'll fold my tape and get the midpoint. Now I'll connect this all the way up. For this, I'll be using a shoulder dart. I'll use 1 inch on both sides, giving me 2 inches, and I'll go ahead to connect. So in total, I'm using a shoulder dart of 2 inches for my pattern. And I'll go ahead to connect. Now, after I'm done connecting on both sides, I'll go ahead to start drafting out my pattern. I'll mark my bust circumference divided by 4. Then for the dart intake, you can take this little dart you have at the over bust, or you measure where you want the neckline to start, measure that dart and replace it by the side. So if you measure it, the dart should be around 0.75 to 1 inch, and then I'll add back my sewing allowance. Now I'm measuring where I want my neckline to start, which is 4 inches above my chest line, or if you like, you can take the measurement from your shoulder to where you want it to stop. So after this, I'll mark my under bust circumference divided by 4, and I'll go ahead to mark, measure my dart intake, replace and add my sewing allowance. Here I'll mark my waist circumference divided by 4, measure the dart intake and replace. After that, I'll place my ruler and I'm going to draw out a straight line at this point. Now, after marking this, you want to go ahead to mark your bust dart. My bust dart is 1.5 inches, and to get this is the difference between your shoulder to waist at the front and your shoulder to waist at the back. My shoulder to waist in front is 17, while my shoulder to waist at the back is 15.5 inches. Go ahead to take out 15.5 inches from 17, you will have 1.5, then connect it back to the bust. This is how to get your bust dart. So I measured about 4 inches here, and I'll start taking this all the way. So blend in your dart this way so that you know where your pattern is going to meet exactly. So I'll start connecting from here. From the armhole line, I'll come in by 2 inches and I will connect. Now this is not a must that you use 2 inches. You can use what is okay from you. Remember that 2 inches that we took out from the shoulder, please go ahead to replace it back at the armhole area, because whatever you take out from the shoulder, you should go ahead to also replace it. Now I'll go ahead to reconnect it back. So I'll just come down by 1 inch here, place my ruler to the basic neckline of 3 inches, and I'll connect back at that line. So this is what I have, and I'm going to go ahead to connect from the neckline of 3 inches, and I'll be connecting it to the 2 inches I have towards the chest line. But I'm just going to use my tape to hold this down before I'll start connecting. So this is what I have after I'm done connecting. All I'll do is to go ahead to cut this out. So if you have any question, please kindly leave it at the comment section. And if you haven't yet subscribed, please kindly hit on the subscribe button. Please go ahead to blend out your dart also when you're cutting out your pattern, and I'll go ahead to cut this out. When you're cutting this out, be careful of your dart at this point. So I'll just go ahead to cut this and also cut out the other side. So this is what I have for my pattern. Moving over to the back, mark out my basic measurements. I marked out the chest line just like we did for that of the front. I found the armhole, the shoulder divided by 2 plus half, and for the back what you need is your shoulder to bust and your shoulder to waistline. Another thing you need to consider is the shoulder to waist at the back is shorter than that of the front. So after this, I'll start marking my dart. To mark your dart is your nipple to nipple divided by 2 and draw out a straight line. Now mark ½ inch on both sides of your waistline, and you'll be extending this all the way up. And after I'm done extending it on both sides of my pattern, I'll insert my measurement. I'll start by marking my bust circumference divided by 4 and adding my sewing allowance. Mark my waist circumference divided by 4, measure the dart intake, replace and add my sewing allowance. Now I'm going to go ahead to place my ruler, and I'm going to connect this all the way up. So after I'm done connecting, I'm going to go ahead to mark a basic neckline of 3 by 1 inch for the back. You can use 3 by 1.5 inches. Now after connecting, I'll come down by 1.5 inches here, and I'll go ahead to connect it. Now I'll be coming up by 0.3 inches and I'll slant it. This is to tighten the yoke area for the back. You can also tighten that of the front if you want to. Now for the lacing, you can use 1.5 to 2 inches, 2.5. It totally depends on how open you want it to be, and you can also add like a modesty panel for the back. So I'll go ahead to trace or cut this out first, and after that I'm going to come down by ½ inch from the chest line of my pattern. This is if you don't want the lacing bar to be popping up when you're putting on the dress, right? So this is what I have. I'll come down by ½ inch, then I'll go ahead to connect it back. After connecting it back, I'll just go ahead to cut this off. So this is what I have.